A dispute between two of the most powerful men.
I have no fear, neither the Trump administration.
About the ongoing war in Iran. Gas prices continues to rise.
Now I have to pay between $5,000 and $6,000 a week on gas.
As it is now affecting local businesses. And look at a life after saying I do.
Cumulative aspect of marriage that can be positive in terms of cancer risk.
And the health benefits that may come with it. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Valeria de Sosa.
And I'm Jose Carlos Rodriguez. Today is Wednesday, April 15th, 2026.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
An escalating conflict between two of the most powerful men in the world. A rare public clash between the Vatican and the United States as President Donald Trump fires criticism against Pope Leo.
CNN's Christopher Lamb has the story.
A U.S. president and a U.S. pope in a very public war of words.
Welcome aboard.
Leo XIV responding to an extraordinary broadside against the Chicago-born pontiff by President Donald Trump. Speaking on board the papal plane to journalists covering a major 11-city visit to Africa, the first American pope made it clear he won't be intimidated.
I have no fear, neither the Trump administration nor speaking out loudly about the message of the gospel. And that's what I believe I am called to do, what the church is called to do.
The pontiff insisting the mission of the church is to build bridges, not engage in politics.
We're not politicians. We're not looking to make foreign policy with the same perspective that we might understand it. But I do believe in the message of the gospel. Blessed are the peacemakers.
Leo has repeatedly spoken out against Trump's actions in Iran. President Trump fired back on Sunday night, lashing out at the Pope over his criticism of the US and Israel's war involving Iran.
We don't like it. We don't like a Pope that's going to say that it's okay to have a nuclear weapon. We don't want a Pope that says crime is okay in our cities. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo.
On Truth Social, Trump went further, calling the pontiff weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy, even saying he prefers the Pope's brother, Louis Prevost, who has shown his support for MAGA. Upping the ante, Trump also posted an AI image on Truth Social depicting himself as a Christ-like figure healing a sick person with American flags and eagles in the background. The image was later deleted.
I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and it had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support, and only the fake news could come up with that one. It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better.
Trump also claimed the Pope was only elected last year because he is American, suggesting the church chose him to better deal with his presidency. Pope Leo has repeatedly condemned the use of religious language to frame the military operation in Iran. A Vatican official, Father Antonio Spadaro, saying Trump is attacking what he cannot control, a moral voice on the global stage. Trump does not argue with Leo. He implores him to return to a language he can control. But the Pope speaks another language, one that cannot be reduced to the grammar of force, security, or national interest. Christopher Lamb, CNN, Algiers.
As the cost of gas continues to rise, local businesses are feeling the pain, especially when it comes to powering essential equipment. KTNV Abel Garcia has the story.
It's the sound of keeping Southern Nevada's neighborhoods tidy. But for business owner Edgar Larios, every roar of these machines now comes with the price.
On letter we're paying around, right now we're paying like $4.50 to $5. But diesel you're paying $6.50 to $7.
Edgar tells me each week, big landscaping rigs and heavy equipment need massive amounts of fuel. And because of the war in the Middle East pushing gas prices higher, Edgar's fuel bill has nearly tripled.
Now I have to pay between $5,000 and $6,000 a week on gas. So that transferred to a lot of expenses and over $100,000 a year on expenses. So the prices of gas have definitely changed the way we do business now. That we got to adjust the pricings.
He says those increases mean new contracts for HOAs, homeowners associations, will now cost more.
I would say 5 and 10% because that's kind of like the pricing of the gas kind of went up.
Larios tells me that adjustment could ripple straight to residents. Higher fuel costs mean higher HOA landscaping contracts, and that could mean higher fees for people right here in our valley.
About every $100 contract, I had to use it, $10 more. If I used to charge somebody $100, now I have to charge $110.
He tells me each one of these pieces of equipment holds a 50-gallon tank, some up to 40 gallons at nearly $7 a gallon. That means more than $300 every time they refuel, and they do it every single week.
Are you making money? That's where the question is, right? I mean, are you getting the contracts just to make money, or you getting the contracts to break even? You have to adjust all of that. So gas prices had a lot to do with definitely, or the subcontractors and contractors and landscape contractors. Everybody has to adjust based on that.
That was KTMV Gavel Garcia reporting, and as of today, gas prices average out to about $4 a gallon due to the war in Iran and the recent U.S. military blockade in the Strait of Hormuz.
An investigation is underway this morning after a plane crash left 2 people dead. Witnesses say the crash took place around 3:30 in the afternoon on Monday in Gainesville. Officials describe the plane as one used by the U.S. military in the 1930s through the 1950s. One resident says he saw the plane fly by on his porch and heard a loud crash minutes later.
I heard some sputtering in the sky, and it sounded like the plane engine was cutting in and out, like it was misfiring, like it was out of fuel. And all of a sudden, that was it.
Adams says the old planes have been flying by his house for the past several days. The FAA and the NTSB have not announced the names of the 2 people killed.
Images have been released in regards of the shooting that left rapper Offset in the hospital. As you can see from these photos, they reveal the people involved in the incident and the vehicles. Local authorities have said that 2 people were initially detained. The FBI released these photos in hopes to find further information in their investigation.
Evacuation orders for Collier County remain in effect today after more than 1,700 acres of brush fire keeps growing. The fire started on Monday at the Picayune Strand State Forest just south of I-75. Crews have the fire about 60% contained, a long way from yesterday's effort, which only got to 15%. Officials are keeping evacuations in place for several areas nearby, though they have lifted evacuation orders for a nearby community.
People say love is the best medicine, and a new study may prove them right. Researchers say the relationship could have a big impact on our well-being. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez has the details.
Most people think of marriage as a milestone, and they may be right. But a new study suggests it might also be a lifeline.
Our key finding is that the never married population, about 1 in 5 adults, has consistently higher cancer risk across most cancer types.
Dr. Paulo Pinheiro is the lead author of the study and an epidemiologist at the University of Miami Health System. He says their study also found that for older adults, the effects of marriage accumulate over a lifetime.
So that suggests that as people age and accumulate risk exposures over time, the gap between never married and the ever married individual becomes more pronounced. So we are convinced that this somehow translates a cumulative aspect of marriage that can be positive in terms of cancer risk.
When the data was broken down by race and ethnicity, Hispanic and Black men appeared to benefit the most from marriage compared to white men. The research shows some of the everyday benefits a spouse can provide include someone to push you to see a doctor, keep up with screenings, and steer clear of risky behaviors like smoking and heavy drinking. Pinheiro says the real takeaway isn't that everyone should get married. For those who are single, having a solid support system can be just as valuable.
Having good social support in general, be it family or be it friends, but also be more attentive to, what the risk factors for cancer are and what kind of measures, if you can improve your diet, not smoke, but drink less.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
There is a major roster change in Inter Miami, but that doesn't involve any players.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
We weren't sure if that's what we were going to come across or not.
You might have seen it in the movies, but never in real life. This zebra paid a surprise visit to the residents of Placer County, California. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know. That's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Bill is a family man. He invests his money wisely and provides a good life for his children. Just one problem. He often opens emails from senders he doesn't know, and his computer is not password protected. One day, Bill checked his bank account and 94% of malware attacks originate from emails. Don't be like Bill. Take your cybersecurity seriously.
Just like in the movie Madagascar, a zebra got away and escaped twice in 4 days. An unusual escape artist in California, a zebra, if you could believe it, Jose, has fled the zoo twice in less than a week.
And this is either the real-life Marty from Madagascar or a big fan of the movie. KMAX reporter Bradley Hableib has more on this zebra on the loose.
He looks like he's going to go in. It's not the call Placer County Animal Services gets often. In fact, it may be the first.
We weren't sure if that's what we were going to come across or not.
When crews arrived near West Wise Road just outside of Lincoln on Friday, there it was, a zebra stopping traffic and shocking drivers.
They were potentially dealing with a wild animal that was not going to be okay with being confined in a trailer.
With multiple officers responding, they used portable panels to corral the animal into a trailer.
Ultimately, he was really cooperative and ended up walking himself onto the trailer without injuring himself and without any of our staff getting hurt.
On these country roads just outside of Lincoln, it wouldn't be unheard of to come across a cow or a horse on the road. But what about a zebra? Well, that's exactly what Barbara Miller came across on Friday.
At first, I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Miller was among the first to report the animal, still trying to make sense of what she was actually looking at.
I'm like, am I really seeing a zebra?
Zebras are legal to own in California, as long as the owner has the proper space, food, and experience. Animal Services says they checked with Fish and Wildlife and confirmed the owner was indeed allowed to have the animal before returning him home safely.
I think the owner needs to walk his property line.
As for the zebra, since Friday, he has gotten out again and returned home again. And if you're wondering his name, it's Zeus, a fitting name for a zebra that for one afternoon ruled the road.
He just likes to wander, I guess. I don't know. Zeus likes to roam a bit.
And that was Brady Hableib from KMAX reporting. Officials say no injuries were reported.
This morning, we say goodbye to Inter Miami's head coach Javier Mascherano just 4 months after leading the team to its first MLS title. In a statement, the team insisted that the Argentinian legend is leaving due to personal reasons. Mascherano communicated his decision shortly after Saturday's draw against the New York Red Bulls. Guillermo Hoyos will take over as a new head coach and will step in the upcoming matches. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
And that's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Jose Carlos Rodriguez.
And I'm Valeria de Sosa. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.